We should be live here on the YouTubes. We've made it 2 Saturdays in a row, and I got a special guest with me tonight because we're going to talk about something that's one of his favorite things in fishing. I got BaitmanJr here. We're going to talk about frogs. He loves frogs. So let me make sure this thing is loading up on YouTube, and I'm not here talking to myself again.
I'll go do it.
Hold on, Brooks. Yep, it says live. We got 9 watching. For some reason, my chat's not pulling up, but that's okay. So, guys, if you're in the chat, type a message and let me know you're here. Already got 1 dislike. I appreciate that, man. I hadn't even started streaming. We got a thumbs down. So, anyway, I can't see the chat room. I don't know why it's not refreshing. We went to live chat. Refresh the chat. It's even saying 0 viewers on my end. All right, there we go. I see Barry MC, Hunter Ombre, Thomas Hines. We're here. Welcome back to Baitman Live. And I see the chat now. I refreshed it. So, guys, I hope you guys can hear me all right. Let me know. What's up, Darius? BaitmanJr, say hello.
Hello.
BaitmanJr, you excited to talk frogs tonight?
Yes.
Yes. You're all oranged out. Did you have flag football today?
Yes.
How did your flag football season go?
Good.
Good? Did you score any touchdowns?
No, but I almost did.
You got 1 touchdown, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So he had 2 40-yard runs, 1 for touchdown. 1, he came up 1 yard short. So, anyway, I'm glad to see a lot of people back in the chat tonight. And it might be a pretty long stream tonight because we got a lot of frogs to talk about. I like me some frogs. But before we get going, I got a couple things. You know me and the Six, we get along. But 6 Cents just dropped a ton of new stuff on their website, if you haven't noticed. So let's go check out that real quick. I did just get a donation through PayPal from Thomas Cates. Thomas, if I didn't pronounce your name right, I'm sorry. So appreciate that $5. Make you holla. So volume up a little bit. Tell you what, I'll move my mic even closer. Let's move the mic closer. Can y'all hear me better now? Is that mic a little bit better? But yeah, BaitJr's in the house. He hadn't been here in a while, so let's check out this new stuff from 6 Cents Fishing real quick. I'll pull it up here on the stream, and then we'll talk some frogging. So, we get on the website here, new arrivals. Anytime you're on the website, use my code BAITMAN. That's it, BAITMAN, and you get 10% off. First things up, man, look, check out these sweet lids. Shout out to my man, Ronnie Kelly. Boat flips only, multicam, black, good looking hat there.
You got your own merch?
I don't have my own merch on here, but I got something I helped with. We got the Beware of Hole Buzzards. That one's a shout out to some of the guys that do some sight fishing with their eyes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gotta watch out for them hole buzzards. If you're a frog person, you're gonna love that new Bottomland frog hat. You want that hat, BaitJr? Alright, I'll get you that hat. And then my favorite one, you know, I'm a bait man, but after being in Texas with Casey Sobsack and netting a 1440,
Netman.
gotta have the Netman hat. Because I'll be honest, I feel like I'm the best net guy on the Tennessee River. But lots of cool stuff that's new on the website. These sweatpants shorts, I just grabbed some large. They sold out. So if you're a small guy or XL, grab some. My wife likes the sweatpants, I guess. I like the yoga pants. So got some new thuds in. This is a new color, Quake Snoop Shadow. Showed that on the stream last week. So is Green Sunfish. Just lots of good new stuff. Peep this new baby bass movement. That thing looks great. That will be a pond slayer. 4K bluegill in the movement 80 wake. Got some Dogma 100s in. There's that juicy color. And
Baby shad.
yes, baby shad looks good. I ordered that. And some 50S silent and jank juice. So we went silent on the janks. And that baby bass isn't that silent 50S. Lots of mini cranks. Just going to let you guys know there's some new stuff dropping in 2 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks on lures. Big baits. That's all I can say. Got some new curve finesse square bills, and yeah, new stuff coming about every day here on the Stix website. So anyway, gotta let you guys know that, because you know, 6 cents takes care of me. I take care of them. Some great stuff. So it's not showing anything but the 10% card to fill out. So I just went through all that. Golly, hold on, I'll see if I can fix it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I literally just went through all that. Alright. Let me try to fix this, guys. I'm so sorry. Is the 10% screen off? It should be. Golly. Alright, just a second. So sorry, guys. So sorry.
We got lots of frogs, trust me. Almost all.
Yeah, hold on. God, man, I can't see the chat when I do that, and wow. All right, can y'all see that? Can y'all see that new product right there? Y'all see that new product up on the screen? Yeah, it'd make for a good podcast description. Andrew, I think your wish may happen. It may not be a Plano, so guys, do me a favor, smash the like and share button. We got 66 people in here. We got to break 100 tonight for sure. So we got to get the stream back on check. You know, we had 200-300 people up in here at one time, 1,000 one night. So anyway, new arrivals. Here's the new hats. I'm gonna flip back. Yes, y'all can see now. Boat flips only. My Captain Ron hat. Shout out to Captain Ron. I tried to get him on tonight, but he's on a date with his lovely wife. So I hope things are going good. Hope the evening ends well for you, Captain Ron. Beware of Hole Buzzard. This one is pretty funny. I like that hat. And that's a Ronnie Kelly saying. We got a lot of Hole Buzzards here on the Tennessee River. I'm not naming names tonight. Got the new Mossy Oak Bottomland frog hat. This would be a good hat to wear duck hunting and still rep the 6, I feel like. You like that hat, BaitJr? I'll order you one. And then my favorite is the Netman hat, because you know, when you got a ton of baits, you don't always go fishing, and when you do, sometimes you're holding the net. I'll be rocking that hat for sure. So shout out to 6 cents. I know how that hat came about. So anyway, here's the shorts. I mean, these things were stock, just released yesterday, almost sold out. The new color thuds. There's the Snoop shad, which is kind of like that chartreuse shad. That baby bass looks really good.
Baby bass.
I like that. Dogma 100s. Silent Jank juice, baby. So
That color looks good.
you hit them with the Jank juice, they won't be able to hear it coming. Lots of restocks coming. You see the Mini 25, some new color, great pond baits. These Mini 25 are excellent pond baits, great for BaitJr kids. They're not real big. They can throw them easy on spinning rods, ultralights. Sleeper bait, 250 MD, really good bait. I love that gizzard shad color right there. And got some new colors in the finesse square bill, shad fantasy, natural crawfish that looks good, pro blue, crawfish nook. Love that curved finesse square bill. And then got some green shorts. I like those. So anyway, hopefully that all worked. I think it did. All right, we're back. Selby needs a Netman cap. Dude, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I embrace the Netman, especially in buddy tournaments, you know, because here's the deal. Netman pays 50-50. And some days you're on them, and some days you're not. And I have no problem being the guy that's netting the fish. So, what's up, Dave Tooley? Victor, what's up, man? What's up, Tom Mix, Sycamore? But yeah, anyways, guys, y'all know anytime you place an order on the 6 Cents website, hit me up with that 10% off code Baitman. And take a screenshot, send it to me. I like to give you guys a shout out on Instagram. I know Justin Royal does it. He's a lot more active than me, so not taking away from Royal, but I like to thank everybody and everything. So I had some great dinner too, Gary. My wife made a Mississippi pot roast, and it was really good.
didn't eat any.
You had tacos today, so. All right, before we get into frogs, one last thing. I found some discontinued baits. So, got to give a shout out to Jacob over at Mark's Outdoors in Alabama. These are from his personal collection, but I seen them pop up, and I had to snatch them. 2 bass boats on Kentucky Lake have been won on this bait right here in 5 years. You guys might know what this is, but if y'all love big walking baits, dude, Debo and Baitman on at the same time. We don't do that on purpose, man. I want to watch Debo stream. I'm just going to get Debo on here. Let's see if we can get a dual stream with Debo next Saturday. Gramps, how about that? Dude, love Quake Eddie. Jeff Garrett says, sweet hat. He likes your hat.
Thanks.
You like the Missile Baits hat? All right. Walking bait, discontinued. Jackal, bow stick, man. This is a very unique walking bait. And in true Jackal form, because it's a good bait, they discontinue it. So it seems like everything Jackal makes that's good gets discontinued. But see if y'all can hear this guy. It's got a really loud knocker in it. One thing that's cool about this bait is you see this little triangle here? You can actually see through it. Like, I can see that light. But what happens is when this bait's walking and slashing through the water, it's got a really good wide walk. You hear that? It's got that. It's got a knocker that goes this way with the bait, and then it's got one that goes up and back. But you hear that? It's got that almost like that vixen sound too. Terrible at fishing. I love that name, dude. I'm terrible at fishing. I know a lot about the baits, and maybe I can help you get better at fishing. But love the Jackal bow stick. Giving you guys a hot tip: if you ever come across any of these, buy them. They got good hooks, good equipment, and dude, they walk so good. It's a bigger top water, 3 hooks. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Jackal has one of the best sexy shad patterns out there. The original sexy shad from Strike King actually had more of a baby blue back. The new ones is more of a gray back. So, dude, I love the Dogma 115. It's an awesome bait. Terrible at fishing, and I really like the Dogma 100. You get a little bit finessey with it. So, yep, Aobi Frog Bling 55, the Aska. I mean, Jackal, they make it good for about a year, and it goes away. What's up, Bayou Burner? No problem, man. If you guys watch later, do me a favor. Make sure you comment on the video. The algorithm does not like Baitman. I actually uploaded a video Sunday on my channel. Now, there wasn't a lot of fish catching, but I actually got something done. Only 500 views. So
I am the best at being terrible.
Let's see. Catwalk or Dogma. I actually like the Dogma really well. Catwalk is good. Do a triple Baitman, Debo, and Hellabass. I don't want to pull a menage a trois on my internet. I'm not sure it can handle it, but we can try deucing it up. So, anyway, I tell you what, next week maybe we'll get Debo on here and we'll talk walking baits, top water, because Debo loves him some top water too. What's up, Dustin Taylor? Good to see you back, man. So anyway, we're going to talk about these guys first. We're going to talk about plastic toads. And then we're going to get into, and BaitmanJr just got him some new ones today. Let's show what you got. And then we're going to get into frogs. And this is a new baby sexy frog for BaitmanJr. And I've got 3 boxes of frogs up here. So we're going to go through the pros and cons of each frog. What's up, James Wells? So, anyway, let's just start off right here. So this is kind of like, we'll start off with one of the OGs as far as toads. You open it up, BaitJr. This is a Stanley Ribbit.
Well, that was easy.
Alright, bait. So the Stanley Ribbit is just your standard toad style bait. Very flat. And it's got these, paddle tails kind of on the back. It's almost like a swim bait paddle tail, but it goes sideways. These are really good, and there's 2 ways to rig them. One, you can put it on the back of a buzzbait. Let me find a buzzbait. Y'all know I got one here.
Learned frogs did my
You can take this thing. This is a Squeaky Dolphin for Reaction Innovations. And you can match the color if you want to. You don't have to. This color I got, it's called Bullfrog, one I really like. It's got a little color to it. You just run it up on your buzzbait. You snatch it in there. Now you got a frog as a trailer on your buzzbait. Honestly, most of the time I actually cut the skirt off. I don't want to do it on this buzzbait though. But long story short, it helps you skip the buzzbait as well. Now, some of these rivets will sink a little bit. So when they sink, what you want to do is kind of put your rod tip up about 45 degrees in the air. And that seems to help. Ooh, barking spider, oh my gosh. Yeah, you can Texas rig them. Let me find a hook. I had a hook up here somewhere. BaitmanJr. There we go. Alright, you don't have to get real fancy. I just use like a 4/0 or a 5/0 EWG hook. So this is one of the few times I really like an EWG hook is for these frogs. So very simple. Also, braided line is a must. On the frogs like this right here, the ribbit, or a horny toad, something like that, I'm really only running, you don't have to do a 100-pound braid. But got a dono up in the chat. Victor Xavier, $25. Woo-wee! Victor, I appreciate that. He says, take yourself and Junior out for a bite to eat on me. Man, I appreciate that, Victor. That is awesome for that $25 make you holler. Tell him thank you, BaitmanJr.
Thank you.
Well, you gotta be excited.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. So anyway, straight up like a Texas rig worm. I go in. If you see, I went in to about the curve. I pull it out the belly. So, and then I pull it all the way to about the nose of the bait. This one's busted already. Golly. And then I'll turn the hook out. And see this slot here? There's a slot in the back of the frog. I'll push it through and then I just kind of tuck it in the slot. The only problem with these frogs, a lot of times, see right there, the nose will get torn up. You can take a little bit of glue or whatnot and fix that. But EWG style hook, Texas rig, and some braid. What are you laughing at? BaitmanJr's just over here laughing, so. Oh, dang, your granddaughter caught the biggest? That's awesome.
No. Right there.
Don't gas Junior out. Yeah, he's been gassed out a few times. Usually, he's been farting in public quite a bit lately. I better get on to him. But there's the rivet. So that's an OG. All right, put that one back in the bag. Now, somebody mentioned this bait right here. This is the Stanley Top Toad. Now, I'm not going to mention any names. Zach Burge. There's been a lot of money won on this bait on the Pro Tour. So, who makes the Barking Spider? The Barking Spider is kind of a Baitman original. It's not truly a bait. It's the Barking Spider would be the name of my new molded jigs. But anyway, this is a really good frog. This is the Stanley Top Toad, and man, Zach Burge is going to kill me. This is my go-to color that I learned from Zach. This is called bluegill. All right. So what's different between that and the ribbit is the Top Toad is a hollow belly. You know, it mashes down. It's almost like your standard frog, but this is a hollow belly. And see, the legs aren't as long. Why don't you use the corkscrew keeper to rig that frog? To be honest, I can't find any. I thought I had some here, but I don't have any. I've got swim bait hooks and stuff like that, which will work if you got, like, you can get the owner beast hooks. They have a screw lock with no weight. Someone
asked, how do you work it?
Where?
Right there.
How do you work what?
Terrible at fishing.
Terrible at fishing asks, how do you work that Stanley Top Toad? On almost all of these plastic or rubber frogs, toads, I'm just throwing out in a steady retrieve. I want about a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel, and I'm just a steady retrieve. You'll be able to hear it kind of gurgling on the surface, and you got it right. Too fast, and they kind of skip across the water. You just want it kind of just gurgling. You'll hear their legs kicking. These cast really good. Now, what I'll do on these, there is a frog hook. I believe this is an owner frog hook. I could be wrong. But you see it's got a little weight up here. I may have got the wrong size, by the way, and I definitely do. But let's see if this one will work. If this is a 4/0, it won't work. I like these frog hooks on the top toad, and I can show you guys why. Alright, some people will mash the frog up and they'll mash it and they'll put the hooks through here. I do it like a normal frog. I actually take my top toad and I set it down in there. If you do it right, it's kind of hard to do sometimes. If you do it right, your toad is set right in there.
Those are good Baitman.
In between. Yeah, this is a 4/0 hook. You got to get the 5/0 ones. If you've got a 5/0 hook, that frog actually set down into the hook. Man.
Wow. Gold.
Well, these are the wrong style hooks. I need to upgrade. But anyway, usually with the right size frog hook, a 5/0, it'll go in the back here. And it kind of fishes like a normal hollow belly frog. Alright. I'll link the correct hook in the description. I'll link all these frogs and everything. But one thing I really like about the top toad, no, Matt, that hook is definitely not big enough. I thought I had some 5/0 ones, but one thing I like about the top toad is when these hooks are right, it's going to set more like this right here. That's how you want it set. See how the hooks are back on the belly of that frog? The right size hook, that's how it's going to sit. So when the fish comes up and eats it, I mean, he's getting all hooked. Stanley makes a specific hook for this as well. I'll link that in the description. What frog would you recommend for lakes with little to no vegetation? Watercolor to clear, light stain, watercolor. Clear water. I like a walking frog. You know, something clear, something a smoky color, stuff like that. Or I'll go down to like a top toad, horny toad in just a white, or like a shad color.
What? Catch kiss it.
Yeah. So that's the top toad. God, I cannot believe I didn't have the right size hook. But love this bait, man. It is a sleeper. It's great around grass, around laydowns, a little bigger profile. It moves some water. Again, all these will be linked to Tackle Warehouse. I am a Tackle Warehouse affiliate, so long story short, anytime you make a purchase from TW and use one of my links, I get a little kick, and that's going to help me out buy more baits, more camera equipment, maybe buy him some food.
Let's do this one.
Alright, BaitmanJr's got a frog he wants to show, and this is the Rage Toad. So you'll notice, show it up there, BaitmanJr. BaitmanJr's showing you the Rage Toad. That's my favorite color, which is a green pumpkin and a pearl belly. And what's cool about this is, you can rig them one way or the other, but you see the Rage Toad? Kind of looks similar to that Guggen Toad. But anyway, this bait's been out a long time, but it's got those big flanges up on here. It actually makes a lot of commotion. And as you can see, where's that ribbit at?
Ribbit.
It's got a little bit wider profile than a ribbit, but it's got shorter legs. This is, I know guys that actually use these as swim jig trailers as well. So,
is this what we're talking about?
top toad floats awesome. Now this one's, yeah. So let's compare them. Let's compare the ribbit to the Rage Toad. Rage Toad on my right, ribbit on my left. You can see the Rage Toad has a little bit wider profile. Legs are a little bit shorter. You can tell really well on the belly. So I personally like a yellow belly. or a white belly. That's a really, I don't get too crazy with colors. I like green pumpkin pearls, bluegill style colors, white or black. You know, my whites are shad color, obviously. Right now it's shad spawn a lot of the country. I like my natural colors, especially when the water's high and you're fishing grass and laydowns and stuff like that. If I'm just around open water, you can throw these things around boat docks, on buzzbaits, stuff like that. I like my whites and my blacks. Just no need to get real silly with it. It's going to be a reaction bite. I don't know if the Guggen toad falls apart after one fish dug, because I'm not going to buy one to try. Now, I've had a couple people ask about this guy right here. Now, this is a big profile toad style bait. This is a Reaction Innovations Trixie Shark. If you'll notice, it's got a lot longer legs, big, huge V cuts, almost like a ultraviolet speedworm. And it's got, you can tell where it gets the name Trixie Shark. It's got that shark style head and body. Really good on a buzzbait. Let's find a buzzbait to stick her on here. I don't have no buzzbaits. That's the thing. Well, I'll be dang. I've lost a bunch of buzzbaits somehow. Trying to find a white one. There we go.
I have a white one. You can use it.
Do you?
Yeah.
This is a Lunker Lure buzzbait, and it's old. But what I like to do on the Trixie Shark, actually, I bite the head off of the shark, and I'm just gonna thread it up here. And this hook's got more rust on it in my truck. And then just thread the Trixie Shark up on the buzzbait like so. Wasn't very straight. And there you go. Now you got a double like paddle tail there on your buzzbait. These old Lunker Lures are really good. This one doesn't have the biggest blade, and it's got this old clacker on it. Real long shank. Love the Trixie Shark on this. That's one I didn't have, Tim. I did not have any contact noisy flappers. That's a really good one. But if you want to imitate a shad and the shad spawn buzzbait, there you go. If y'all are watching Bassmaster Live, my man Gerald Swindle, he was throwing a little bit of a buzzbait. Now, what's really cool, Trixie Shark has salt, so if a fish misses it, you can pause and twitch. Correct, Gary. Very salty tasting as well. Now, what's really cool is I picked this up today. Some of you guys may have seen these before, but you can actually buy a War Eagle buzzbait, which is one of my favorite buzzbaits out there. I love that they put these big blades on here.
No.
This is a 3/8 ounce, which is perfect. This is great. But you also, you get your own toad on this thing. I think it's a proprietary frog on the back, but the buzzbait already comes with a frog. And this is, dude, I love the black gold blade. That's kind of my jam in the War Eagle. You can hear it. It's got that nice sound. You can hear that rivet. Woo! What's up, St. Chris? Yeah, man, it is time to get some Vega frogs. We're going to talk about that. But I love War Eagle buzzbaits, and you can get it with the frog on the back. And if you don't like that one, you can take it off and put whatever you want on there. So I'm going to go ahead and hang that guy up.
I'll hang this somewhere right here.
Oh, you're going to hang them up? All right, BaitmanJr. Appreciate that.
No, mine. Look.
But it feels like over the last couple of years, the popularity of these soft plastic toads have really, really gotten popular. Andrew, yes, on some buzzbaits, if I can, I will push the frog up over the head. Like the Scott Canterbury Dirty Jigs buzzbait, it's meant to like push that all the way into there. So, Simon, yes, use braided line on buzzbaits. I used to be a mono guy, and mono's fine, but those days are over. I'm strictly on any of my frogs or anywhere. Dave Tully, thank you. It's a Yum Toad on the back of the War Eagle. Thank you. But I'm throwing 65-pound braid. Matter of fact, this is the braid I use all the time when I'm fishing a frog, whether it's a hollow belly frog or it's a toad or a buzzbait. This is Sunline FX2, flipping and frogging, and it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of a blue greenish color. Super strong. It makes really good knots and casts really well. It's kind of expensive, but it's braid, and unless you just blow the whole reel up, it's gonna last. The only negative part I've got about colored braid like this is if you fish in the rain, it rubs off in my hand. It'd be blue after there. So, but I've seen some guys on some fishing forums and some other stuff say I'm losing a lot of fish on a frog, and they say, well, I'm only using 30-pound braid. 30-pound braid is like the equivalent of 8-pound mono. The heavier braid you get, the less, there's no stretch in it. But that lighter stuff, it's harder to really drive the hook. You need a stiff rod to drive the hook. In turn, you got to have heavier line. So, off topic, but my son said for BaitmanJr to add him on Fortnite. Chan Man is his screen on. BaitJr don't play Fortnite anymore. He really hadn't been playing much Xbox, so.
You deleted it.
I did delete it. He had a bunch of kids saying some really off-color stuff to him, so. If you were using mono for frogs, what weight would you use? I would not use mono for frogs. Now, I might on those plastic, like a ribbit and a horny toad, but if at all possible, please don't use mono for frogs. There's too much stretch. But if that's the only option you got, I would get at least 20 to 25-pound mono. Fluoro for buzzbaits, man, I can't do it. Can't do it. The problem about fluorocarbon is it sinks. Braid tends to float. So any topwater lure, if you can gotta go with some braid or mono because they float. Fluoro will sink. Now, trick though, if you got a good weight bait that you want to dive below the surface a little bit, throw some fluorocarbon on a weight bait. You can get it just diving 6-8 inches below the surface. So, yeah, FX2, super amazing line. I do not mind paying the price for this because honestly, I'll rig a frog right up in like March, and it stays rigged all summer, and I don't go through a lot. So, yeah, Big Mike. Some mono is really good, some's really bad. The best mono I found, and I got a giant 3,000-yard spool, is like 14-pound. It's like Trilene Max high vis. That's really good mono. Seaguar makes a good mono for topwater as well. So, hey, put this back over there. All right, we got a few more to go through. Okay, so we've got the Trixie Shark, the Top Toad. Now I heard this one mentioned in chat. This is a personal favorite of mine. Simon, I'll show you here in a minute. We're going to get to that. This is a personal favorite of mine. I'm glad somebody mentioned this. This is a Gambler cane toad. And yes, it's got purple flake in it. This is a color called sprayed grass. But the color I really like, and they're hard to find, is green pumpkin silver swirl. I really liked it. This is one of the first frogs other than a horny toad I used. I'll just call this, the way I said the plastic ones are toads, a hollow belly is a frog. But really like this. Now, one thing it does have, it has a very short, compact body. So when you go and you put a 5/0 hook, if y'all notice, that's a 5/0 hook. It's almost too big. So you got to find a 4/0 or even a heavy-duty 3/0 hook for these right here. But one thing I like is it's heavier than most of the other frogs. It casts really well, makes a really good gurgle. They're really good on a smaller, compact buzzbait. Great frog here. They skip really, really well, and they got some stank on them. But really like the cane toad, man. I've caught several on this sprayed grass color. Don't know why I picked it up. That color's really good on Kentucky Lake for some reason. What's up, Jack Mitchell, man? Good to be back, man. Glad to see you in here. Actually, this color's pepper grass, which most companies call this watermelon, green pumpkin, purple mix. There you go, James McMullen. What's up, my man? Seeing a lot of old school guys up in the chat tonight. I'm glad to see you guys back. Make sure you hit the like button and share. You know, I'd appreciate that. If not, no big deal. The most important thing to me, comment after the video. Come back later tonight, tomorrow, leave a comment. Then I can answer. If I miss your question, I'm sorry. Always feel free to leave a super chat, but you don't have to. So, okay, how do I feel about the Vega frog? We're going to get into that in just a little bit, Mike. And the last toad I got, and I'm going to let you guys know. If y'all don't know about the Horny Toad by now, y'all been living under a rock. Probably one of the original top water toads. It's got those. This one's bent bad. This is all I got left. I've got 2 left. I actually use these quite a bit. Believe it or not, this is a really good swim jig trailer. But it's got the Ultra Vibe style tails on here. Really good on the back of a buzzbait. It skips really well. I'll never forget the first fish I caught on a Horny Toad. I had about 6 foot of line out, and it just blew up like a bowling ball. And I was fishing with a buddy of mine. His name's Joel, and it hit right by his foot, and it scared him so bad he tripped over the back boat seat and almost fell in the lake. But it was awesome. But love the Horny Toad. One cool thing is when you put this on the back of a swim jig, it's so bulky it will make one rise up. So you can take like a 3/8, put a Horny Toad on the back, and you can really like right below the surface to have a big, bulky profile. Frog Talk brings all the boys to the earth. That's right. Have you used the toxic bait froglets? No, I have not, man. Shout out to Caesar. He's a really good guy, and I've talked to him a few times on Facebook. Caesar from Toxic Baits, real deal, and I'd love to try some of his toxic wade frogs, I believe he calls them. So now Brooks, he's just going to drop up in the hollow belly game right here. What do you got there, BaitmanJr?
It's called the sexy frog.
Oh yeah, a sexy frog. Who makes that? Strike King. Strike King. This is the baby sexy frog. So let's talk a little bit about this small frog here. Great for creek fishing. Great for pond fishing. You got kids. Here's your little frog. They can use. One thing that's cool about this little frog, it's almost all hook. All hook.
It could be good for me to use.
Good for BaitmanJr to use. So that's a kind of a newer frog they've just come out with. Spro makes a smaller frog as well, but it's all hook. We're gonna give this one a try. A little micro frog fishing changer. Dude, Minnesota Flash is an awesome color. Brennan, I love it in a biffle bog. Dude, I'd love to have a Frogzilla. I don't have one. The biggest frog I got. Get that frog right there.
What? Oh, I see.
You get that Big Daddy out.
Big Daddy. Right here?
Nope, right there.
Oh, I see it.
This is the biggest frog I got. I'll show you. This is an old Bass Pro laser eye frog.
It's a toad.
It's a toad, they say. The only problem I have about this thing, number one, is this thing's so old. This thing is huge. Like, where's your baby sexy frog go? Where would you? Like, you look at the baby sexy frog, and then you look at this thing. I mean, gosh dang. Look at the eyeballs on this. This is kind of like one I'm never really going to use, but they're so soft. I mean, it don't take nothing for them hooks to be exposed. But this is kind of a frog I would use on a mat. This isn't something I'm going to try to walk. So, but do like the baby sexy frog. Looks like they've improved this. You got a little weight back there. If you see that little weight, that's going to help you cast it. Keep a nice even kill. The only problem I have with the sexy frogs is they do tend to get some water in them, and I have a few that sink. Barry MC is like impossible for me to find a Bobby's Perfect frog. So some dude kicked your tail on that big fat frog. I don't even know the name of it. It's just laser holographic finish. It's just a big laser eye frog. This thing's old. Alright, put that back, BaitmanJr. So we picked up this frog today. Put it back in the same spot.
We got another one.
I know. Dude, I love the Strike King dancing frog. So picked up this one today. And this is a classic Spro frog, man. This is Halloween pumpkin. But, you know, you get people that say, oh, man, all you need is a black, and you just need a black and a white frog. You don't need anything else. I'm telling you, there's a time and a place, especially in the spring, when bass are bedding these bright colors, this orange belly. They get bit, man. This thing looks really good. So probably one of the original walking frogs is the Spro frog. Now, this isn't the poppin'. This is the regular edition. These walk really good. One Dean Rojas made famous. But there's a time, man, these orange, purple, I got a purple Spro, blue, they work really good, especially this time of year. As you get later in the year, I feel like the natural colors, the shads, and your blacks are your best bet. But thoughts on the Boom Boom frog, patch on top to keep bass hooked. Not a fan of that frog, honestly. I had one, didn't really, just wasn't right, man. There was something about it I didn't care for. It's just fat frogs, pretty good. Never seen the River to Sea fat mat, so yeah. So here's the deal: you can't go wrong with a black, white, or brown frog. But I'm telling you, there is a time and a place for these wild colors. And when I seen this one today, I said, man, I gotta have that one. I like a bright red frog, and I know a couple people that will also swear by them as well, especially in the spawn. It just gets their attention a little bit more. I don't know if they think it's a big sunfish or something like that, but they really like it. But the old Spro, it's hard to beat, you know, for the money. They hold up good. They got a good hook. You know what you're getting when you buy a Spro frog. Gary was mentioning the Swamp Donkey. Well, I'm going to pull that sucker out in just a second. I've got a frog box, and then I've got a bunch of frogs in packages because I'm running out of room in my frog box. Where'd that? Swamp Donkey? Yes. It's my favorite color in the Swamp Donkey right here. So there's the Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey. This is the bluegill color. Notice how long the tails are on here. So honestly, the Swamp Donkey for me is more of a mat fishing frog. It's got awesome hooks. See how those hooks are pointed up? You're going to have a really good hookup ratio. And anytime you're having trouble on a frog, a hollow belly frog, maybe not getting the best hookup ratio, take your pair of pliers and you'll bend these hooks out. Bend them out from the body and your hookups will be better. So, someone asked how to add rattles. What I do, see where your hook goes in, like in this frog right here. I will actually, you can pull the bait away from the hook a little bit. And you'll have that hole open up, and you can stuff some glass rattles in there. And then I just take a hammer and smash it, and then you just put your frog back. But that's the Swamp Donkey from Reaction Innovations. This is the new generation. It's really soft, super long legs. You can trim it to maybe get a little bit better walking action. But one thing you'll notice is the line tie is kind of angled down. So when you're walking this thing on a mat, it's going to kind of head knot the grass. Let's see. Spro has some new style frogs coming out at the Classic or ICAST. Going to be legit. Can't wait, man. They also have a big popping frog now. I just saw. And KL Fishing, I definitely want to show that trick. I just don't have any rattles with me. I've actually been thinking of making a frog hack video. I got to finish my Texas video, so I'll probably upload another video Monday night from Texas, part 2 and 3. A lot more action, going to be fun. So, is there any difference in the OG Swamp Donkey versus the current gen? From what I'm told, 0. The Pro Z is a really good frog, man. If you can find the Pro Z frogs, they are actually really good. I used to have some video of some really big ones eating it. Blue frogs when dragonflies are flying. Never thought about that. The 17-year cicada coming soon. It's going to be crazy. I hope so, man. I love me some topwater bite. Last time that happened, man, the smallmouth fishing was awesome. Yes, terrible at fishing. I have used the 6 cents frogs. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and open the box. Let's talk about the 6 cents Vega frog. I've had several questions on that. And I think BaitmanJr just deserted our ass. He left. So this is kind of my go-to frog box right here. It's one I've kind of put together. I may have to make another one, but when you don't have a boat, it's a lot easier to take 3700s that aren't double deep. So, best frog lake in the country. Woo, I would say somewhere on the upper Mississippi around Hellabass area would be really good. So, I like the Maracker frog. Sprinkler's okay, but I like the Maracker frog, especially for mats. So, all right. So here's the 6 cents Vega frog, and I'm gonna pick a couple of my favorite colors out real quick. I'm gonna get really basic with you guys. We got so many colors. So there's the Vega. This is your black magic, man. One thing I like, the tails are long, but they're not overly long. Like the reaction invasion swamp is super long, but you'll see that nice cupped mouth, popping frog style. But you can see it's very round down here. What this does is help this bait walk back and forth. It has a nice, easy walk. And a good tip, if you're having trouble walking your frog, you're probably doing too much. You're trying to walk it too hard. Very light taps to the rod tip, almost like I'm doing right now. Just light taps to the rod tip, and it'll. But that's the Vega in black magic. It's out of stock on the website right now. But if I'm going to pick up a black frog, I'm going to go with that. I love the hooks. It's got a little bit longer body than a Spro. I love that the hooks point up. Again, if you're having trouble, just pull your hooks out. But listen, it's got a faint rattle to it. There's already some weight in there. There's already a rattle. The cool thing on here, if you look at the butt end, it's got the weight back here. It's sealed up. This whole part where the hook is, it's sealed. So some frogs you cannot put a rattle in. This is one, unless you pull this out right here. It's already sealed with a little weight rattle in there. Andrew, I don't know if they're coming out with a non-popping frog. I think this is kind of a hybrid frog. I don't like popping styles on mats, so it wouldn't matter who made it. I'm going to throw a round nose frog on a mat. More likely a Bobby's Perfect frog or a Spro. But, dude, this thing is great in open water. It's great around grass, great around cover. I've caught several fish in the pond already on this. BaitmanJr saw one eat a frog, and he went, "Holy cow, bass to do that?" And I said, "Yeah, man." He was excited. So, Black Magic, I really like this color too. I like me some yellow on a frogs. This color's called Frogville. This one's in stock right now. Really awesome. I love that yellow color. A little overcast day. I want some flash. I want those fish to see that frog. Especially right now. You got bass that are spawning. You got post-spawn bass. You got bluegill moving up. That's why I'll go with something high vis. I want them to see it. The back, does it matter? I actually feel like the back doesn't matter as much as the sides, especially on a frog that's walking. Because people go, oh, they only see the belly of a frog. Well, they do see the belly. When you start walking a frog, a lot of times it doesn't walk perfectly like this. It kind of dips in and dips under, and there's waves. And a lot of times I think they see the flash off the side of the frog. In super shallow water, I really feel like bass can see a lot more of a frog than you think. So I like something visual they can see. Love the Vega frog. That color's called Frogville. And then This bluegill color right here is insane. And one reason I like this, because it does more than a bluegill to me. I feel like this is almost a shad style color. This is very similar to that the Spro Killer Gill. I think this is called Gill Fest. It's actually in stock on the 6th Sense website. Vega Frog. Use my code Baitman. Baitman get you 10. Those are my top 3 colors, except let me go get the one I got tied on. It's my sleeper color. It's my sleeper color. Yeah, BaitmanJr has deserted me. He is. So here's my frogging setup right now, guys. Dude, I did see that 15 6-pound jank. That was awesome. Georgia has some big bass. So this is my frogging setup right now. This is a Daiwa Tatula Elite Takahiro Omori pitch and flipping rod. The problem is I do a lot of flipping with, or well, pitching, but it's a really good frog rod. It's got really good backbone, but it's got a decent amount of tip. And this is a color I've been actually catching fish on in the ponds around here when I've been able to take BaitmanJr. And I believe this color is called, like, it's not called hazelnut. I can't remember. It's just a brown frog. Brown's always really good, but man, this thing has caught several fish. I had to fix it a little bit, but there's that braid I tied direct. Someone asked one time what kind of knot. That knot there on the braid is a San Diego jam knot, and man, it's solid. Never have any issues. This color right here, I forgot the name of it. Dude, it catches them. I want to say it's called hazelnut, but I think that one has a little bit of white on top. But no problem, Dax. I'm glad you're in the show. But one thing on a frog, I'm going to throw at least a 7-to-1 gear ratio. Brick Critter, thank you, Barry MC. I appreciate you. But the reason I picked this one out, it's brown, but it's got a little red hue to it. Just a natural color. If you get in a situation where maybe you went to your local tackle shop and they're out of blacks or whites, go natural. Go a green or a brown. Those work really good. Dude, I love the jackal frogs. Alright. They got, this one's a really good color too. I haven't thrown it. My man Cole Harkin from Colin J, this is his favorite. This one's called Pickle Breath. It's just like a bright green with a white belly. I told him that's the old swamp frog right there. But dude, he has one that's literally white. He's caught so many fish on. Speaking of Cole, I think he's going to try to make a little trip up here pretty soon. And we're going to do some river fishing, some snake hunting. Who knows? Maybe go to Lake X. So I use 8-to-1 my forms in most top order. Yeah, 8-to-1 on top order frogs. Man, last year I was throwing a catwalk on an old school Chronarch, and I could bomb it out, but it would take me forever to get it in. I was used to using a 7 or 8-to-1. And it's crazy. Back in the day, I used a 6-3-1 on my walking baits. I'm like, how did I ever get fish in? I really like that color, that Pickle Breath. So many good colors from 6 Sense. Of course, there's the Gillikin. I actually do like a yellow, goldish color frog as well. That's the Gillikin. And looks very similar. This is a Mega Bass, Big Gabbit, Big Gabo. I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. Now, I've seen a few people say, oh, the 6 Sense is a copy. Nah, man, they ain't even close. Like the Big Gabo, way wider. Actually has more of a toad kind of shovel head. The only thing that's similar is the length of the skirt, I feel. You can see the 6 Sense mouth is quite a bit different. See, the Big Gabo has this, and then it goes all the way down here. Whereas the Vega Frog's just got a standard cut mouth. The only thing kind of similar is maybe the head, but the Big Gabo is a great frog. Debo's fishing, shout out to him. Debo has caught a lot of fish on the Mega Bass frog. They are kind of expensive, but man, I I don't think they're. I don't mind paying 15, 20 bucks for frog. Also, I have a problem buying tackle. So there he is. There's Cole. What's up, my man? We were just showing the Pickle Breath. But I don't think they're really that close. Now, the hook in the big bow, if you look, is bigger. These are two really, really good frogs. So I like Megabass stuff. Now, not all of it I use, but there you go, Cole. There's just some Pickle Breath. I've had a couple people asking about my shirt tonight, so I want to give a shout out to Matt Pangrak and Mark Jeffries, the best bass talk show on YouTube. Don't see how they find enough stuff to talk about every single day. Always have great guests. Pangrak, Mark, if you see this, I'm ready to come talk some baits on BTL anytime you want to have me. And we got to get Pangrak back on here. He said he would. After his next tournament, he said he'd be ready to come back on the Baitman show, and we'll talk about whatever. So, shout out to those guys. Very comfortable shirt, and I like helping guys out. They do a lot. BTL does a lot for the fishing community. Jeffries is a great dude, and I like him quite a bit. So, of course, Pangrak is Pangrak. So, what's up, man? Life is less hectic. Up to 160 live viewers tonight. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to smash the like button. And just let y'all know, my man Cole and Jay, they went live on their channel last Saturday night. Got to see that beautiful baby they just made. Definitely going to be a prodigy fisherman. We're on the best bass talk stream on YouTube. I don't know. I don't think I'm the best. I'm just a guy that talks about baits, and I'm feeling it tonight. You know, I'm all up in the baits. Also, got to give a shout out to my man, Big Baby Clint Davis, in that top 10 there at Neil Henry. That's a solid fantasy pick. Clint is a great guy, man, and I would love to see him win. And I said today, man, if they let Clint hang around that top 10, he's going to have something for him. So, all right, so let's talk about my favorite frogs that aren't just 6 cents, okay? Which the 6 cents one's really good. Probably one of the best frogs that's been out in the last few years. Now, someone mentioned Jackal Gavacho. I'm going to put the Gavacho solidly in my top 5. Remember me talking about red frogs? Yeah, this guy's got ate quite a bit. This is a... You can see I've got some braided line. I've used it. This is the Jackal Gavacho, which is cool. If you notice, you got 3 legs on it. And supposedly the 3-leg design was to kind of balance it out and help it walk. I think this is one of the easiest frogs to walk on the market. And it's narrow up front. It's kind of like got a bottle shape to it. But man, to me, I hook up really, really good with this frog right here. I really only throw 2 colors. I throw a brown color, and I've hurt them pretty hard on that white color. When I want a frog that's just a pure walking frog that I don't have to mess with, I like this in just open water, over the top of stumps, you know, deeper water. Man, Gavacho, that's one of my number 1 picks. Really like the frog, and they're pretty easy to find at times. Now the other frog from Jackal, we want to talk a little bit of some mini frogs. Dude, I'd love to get Eric back on here. I haven't heard from him in a while. The thing is, in the summer, Eric fishes like more than anybody I know. So I just let Eric do his thing. We'll get him back on here sometime. And I got to get his care package to him. But this is the Jackal Care Frog. Now, what's cool about... Now, this is a JDM color. Straight up hot pink and purple. I had to have that. I need to do it like... Maybe I should just do fishing challenge videos. That's what I should do. And sell myself out to the Guggen Squad once I get semi-popular. Actually, I won't do that. But I would love to catch a few on this little purple care. Again, even this is a little bit bigger profile than, say, the baby sexy frog. But this is a great matte fishing frog. And it's great skipping in really shallow water. I do like this gill color. And Alex Davis tells me this one's the truth. That glitter Hasu color. Really small frogs. Great for ponds, but great for lakes where there's a lot of frog fishing going on. Less pressure. Dude, scum frogs are awesome. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to go through Baitman. I got to give them a shout out. If you guys didn't know, Scum Frog sent Baitman Jr. This is all Baitman Jr.'s frogs right here. This is all Baitman's. Yeah, the Kara's got a lot of good colors. That's just the two I prefer. But, man, look at all these. There's Blue Frog. We got 2 blue Scum Frogs. Dude, I'm telling you, there's a time and place for these. But one cool thing about these is I think this is the Trophy Series. You see it's got that weight way back there. Might even be the Launch Frog. One of them, the Launch Frog, you can cast a mile. And that's the one Lee Livesey won at Chickamauga off last year. But the blue ones are really cool. I mean, but you see these 3D print patterns on the back of these. Like that looks like a daggum mallard duck. Yeah. Love the Scum Frogs. Love out there in a bunch of different colors. The Walking Rat, man, that's a good one, Gary. I love that. But I like, you see how that hook goes around the back end of this frog? When that bass comes, you're getting all, I mean, this thing mashes down. You're going to get all hook up right there. Here's one I like personally. A straight up yellow and black, man. Bright color. This one will catch you. So, but Scum Frog, man, they make so much awesome stuff. I'm getting Brooks BaitmanJr. trained up. Look at there, just a straight white. So many good colors. Scum Frog, American Bait Works, great people over there. Look here. Now this is a Scum Frog. A lot of guys caught some fish on right there. Just great people. And BaitmanJr., he comes about once a week. He opens his frog box and he looks around. And I got to get him trained up on the bait caster. Hey, Bait, Miguel here. I saw you messing with Do It Molds. Welcome to the gang, man. They got a soft plastic frog mold, I believe. Thinking about getting into those. Man, I'm telling you, I can't decide if I want to make a video or should we do some live bait making. Should I do a live Do It Mold bait making stream? I will have to somehow do it outside because it could get terrible here in the bait room, or I can clean the bait room out. But I'm thinking about, let's learn to build a lure live with some Do It Molds. And of course, I got to make sure I don't get it all over the laptop. Or it may be a deal I have to get the old school cell phone out and stream. So I love frog talk too, Cole. I wish I lived where there was more frog fishing, but I really feel like Kentucky Barkley Lakes are becoming more of a shallow water lake for longer. Our water temp's barely 63 degrees right now. And it's May. Yeah, Terry, actually the time I think the best frog fishing time at Gunnersville is October, November. And that comes from Blake Hall, who's an awesome guy down there, great frog fisherman. So, well, the good thing is if I hurt myself live, somebody can call it for help, because chances are my wife would be watching some kind of woman TV show or Lifetime, and she'll probably not hear me scream. So, yeah, got to do it outside. I don't need no lead poisoning. I've been hearing from work lead's hard to get, but I might have showed you that, guys, this fall in a Tackle Warehouse unboxing. But this is the new Molix Poppin' Frog, and this is one I really, really like. This frog, great 3D design on this thing, man. Look how good that looks. But what was different, I didn't just get this one because it had some purple in it, but I like that it had a red throat patch on the bottom. Instead, you don't see that very often with frogs. You'll see the red mouth, but I love that patch. I know the guys that helped design this, and look at the hook gap in that thing. Collapses very well. This was designed by a group of guys on Facebook, and a guy named Tom Best. It's called Frog Eaters, and they helped Mullix make this frog. Now, Mullix has been purchased by Duckett Fishing, and to be honest for you, boy, Duckett can suck it, because all he does is copy shit. But you know, as far as I know, Mullix designed all this stuff. Boyd had nothing to do with it, but I really like this frog, and man, it's got that really cool 3D look. And for the most part, these are good frogs. I walked this one in my pool pretty easily. It's short, it's round, but it's real compact, so it kind of has a good walking bob to it. So again, I'll try to remember to link all these frogs to Tackle Warehouse, and you can pick and choose. Heads up, if you order from TW, make sure you put that 2-day ship on there. They're way behind. I was told they may not even get caught up till like November. So if you don't see a 4th of July sale from Tackle Warehouse, it's because they're way behind. Dude, I love that Spro red, white, and blue frog, man. I'm all about some of that. So yeah, great color. That's the new Mullix popping frog. Speaking of Mullix, the biggest frog profile I have is this right here. This is the Mullix Sneaky Frog, and this is a 100% design to walk. Got a real big long hook in this thing. This thing walks like a dream. Got that little sneaky tail down there, which is kind of like made of a living rubber type stuff. And you know, if I like a walking bait, I gotta have me some bone, so why not have a bone hollow belly sneaky frog? Yeah, dude. Last time I seen Boyd, he was at ICAST staring at other people's baits. I'm pretty sure he might have copied a few from there. So, never allow moisture, including sweat, to get close to your molten lead. Huh? Didn't know that, Steve. Well, I appreciate that. Terry, what's your best popping frog if I had to choose one? Best popping frog, I'm gonna go Gavacho or the 6th Sense. Those are my two favorite. Spro popping frog's really good. Actually, talking about catching a lot of fish, Killer Gill from Spro. Oh man, if you want to get one color Spro frog, Killer Gill is the one right here. Caught a lot of fish on that. But what would be a good frog rod for around $150 or less? I would probably get a 735 Dobbins Fury. That's a really, really good frog rod for about $119. The cool thing, here's the thing about frog. You need a light rod, but you need a lot of backbone. But you also need some tip, because if you want to get good at skipping a frog, you'll need that tip. So the 735 Fury is really good. I believe there's a 7'4" Lux Series 6 Sense that's really good. I like those light rods. That Daiwa rod I use, you can find one used for like $100. It is a little heavier though. So, all right, my sons forgot to let my dog in. Somebody do something. Oh. I had to let the dog in. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so going through those. Let's see. Here you go. Here we want to talk about a popping frog. Underrated. Listen to this. I'll tell you what. I'm going to link some frog rods in the description. So when you come back tomorrow, look at the description of the video, or later tonight, I'll have a link to all that stuff. I do not have the big... Yeah, I do have a big Zoom Frog 10-horse Monty, and to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. But this is the Zach Bird Special. If you guys watch Major League Fishing, this is a Depths Buster K. This is a true popping frog. It actually pops. But man, they are very, let me say, brittle. They do tear up pretty easily, but man, these things catch fish. I know Travis Manson was throwing one of these on with Epic Eric. Didn't like it, so it tore up. Does tear up, but dude, these things catch fish. Upper Mississippi, guys are always buying these things. For my tackle retail days, this is one of the #1 selling frogs. Always a limited stock in the U.S., but when they come in, guys buy them. You see that's big. Look at how big that weight is back there. It really helps you cast this thing. And that's from depths. That's a Buster K. And you talk about a good walking frog. This is the Slither K. Not a mat frog. Really good. Like you see the grass they're fishing there at Neil Henry and the Bassmasters, what I call bank grass. That's perfect for the Slither K. Very small profile, bone color. Got that rabbit fur on there. Really awesome frog. So. Poppin' Perch is very underrated, Hunter. That's a good frog. Makes a lot of movement in the water. So, all right, baseless chat. Bass are supposed to see green and reds the best. Why are red frogs not used more? I'm a red frog fan, baseless chat. Matter of fact, I've shown several. This color right here, this is a live target poppin' frog. This red-brown color is one of my favorite colors you can find in a frog. So, this actually works pretty good. This is one of those live target baits, one of about 50 they make that's actually decent. Their regular frog and this frog right here is a decent bait. The other stuff from live target, not a big fan. Jack Mitchell, Baitman, thoughts on the Boom Boom frog? I would like it better if it actually walked well, regardless of the patch. That's an old school thing that was real popular in the 80s. Guys would put like Velcro on the frogs, because when a bass's mouth attaches or gets around the frog, it's real rough patchy, gets caught in that, so they say. But dude, I don't want a bass eating a frog where it's just his lips touching the hook. I like it when the sumbitches choke it, because you know they get hooked in. When you get them way back in the roof of the mouth, then that patch really doesn't matter. But JDM frogs I like. Matter of fact, my man Jake Lawrence, Monty Mac's probably going to get really mad when I show this, but, you know, if y'all want a really good frog that walks really, really well, nobody talks about quite a bit, this is the Norries. Really good one. This is the NF60 Norries. Really good frog. See my color, black and white. Got a really killer hook in it. This thing walks amazing. Super secret frog right here. This is one a lot of guys on the Pro Tour are always looking for. You see, it's got really short legs right out of the box. Does not need trimming. Got a good hook in it. Very solid. They hold up very well. They make a brown color that's really, really good as well. So if you get a chance to grab a Norries frog, do it. Alright, somebody asked about Mad Max. Now, Hellabass has got some of these. I need to get a few more. I've only got one right now. This is made by a company that's out of business named True Tungsten. Look how long those legs are. Stupid long. So, if I was going to fish, I'm cutting it in half right off the bat. But this thing will walk really, really good. These were really good frogs. You see, he's got a really good hook. Super soft, man. I mean, super soft hooks. Or body. Matter of fact, I fished this one a couple times, and I've already getting a few little holes up top because the hooks are really sharp and the bait's soft. Now, the problem about the Mad Max is the first version of these was basically like a freaking rock. You'd throw it and they'd sink in the water, and they're too stiff. The second version is super soft. You'll have to find these on eBay, and I'm telling you, some of them go for like $50. Very desirable. A lot of guys are always looking for the Mad Max frog, so you can kind of tell it's got that angry ass eye on there. I don't know why he's so angry, but he's angry. Love this frog. This is one of those frogs that if I was going to go fish a tournament and there's a frog bite, I'm probably going to risk the biscuit and tie on the Mad Max. Alright, live target frog. You know, it might have Scott Martin's name on it. Scott's a good guy. We actually had a mutual friend pass away 2 weeks ago, man. Good friend of mine. So, gave me my first job in the fishing industry. Jeff Evans, Fisherman's Headquarters there in Draftonville. Great guy. Taught me so much about fishing. He passed away, and he introduced me to Scott Martin. That was tough for me. But anyway, this is the live target popping frog. It's pretty cool that the popper is actually clear on it. It's pretty decently soft. I like it. It's got a real heavy hook though. You see how thick that hook is? You're going to want to run some heavy braid on there. Got to have a stiff rod. But live target frogs aren't bad. Do not like the live target sunfish. Piece of junk. If I was going to make a video on the 5 worst baits ever made, live target sunfish would probably make it in there. This is a really cool color popping frog, by the way. This is a sunfish colored Spro popping frog, and I like it because it actually is translucent. It's hard to see on here, but blue. Anytime the bluegill are bedding, I'm going to go to a bluegill colored frog. I really truly think they like those loud colors, bluegill style stuff when those red ear and bluegill are making beds. Yes, Terry, I slightly bend the hooks. You can either bend them up. I actually like bending them away from the body just a little bit. So I'll bend them out and up. Again, loud colors, loud crazy colors, I'm a big fan of. There's my baby blue, my Brent Anderson special. Shout out to Brent. Baby blue Spro frog. Again, this time of year is when I like to rock these. And then my buddy Kyle, he gave BaitmanJr that purple Spro frog. Y'all ain't never seen a purple frog. But he's like, dude, I have these custom painted. They murder these purple frogs. So I'm ready to try that sucker out. So I like the wild frogs, man. Old school, what else I got in here? One of the first real true hybrid frogs is this guy right here. Dude, it feels good, Gary. I liked it. I enjoy you in the chat, Gary. I would love to fly out there and us just talk baits for hours. All right, somebody name this frog. Name this frog. Can we get a name up in the chat? Has anybody stumped yet? It's this one's discontinued. It's a Junebug frog. Yeah, there you go, JP Harrell up in here. That is a paycheck transporter frog, man. Love this frog. I've got 3 more up there. This is a really good. It's a good popping frog. You can throw it on mats. It's got a really good hook in it, man. Really good hook. The hookup ratio is really good on the transporter. I like fishing this on the, not want to say mats, but you know where the grass kind of clumps up and it's real sporadic. That's when I like the transport. It floats really, really well. Unfortunately, they're discontinued, but Hideki over there at Teckle, he pretty much makes anything that Paycheck or Reaction Innovations discontinued. He makes this guy right here. This is the Duck Roker. The Duck Roker frog. And what's cool about this guy, it's got an even bigger profile than the transporter, but it's got this big knocker. It's got this frog's got a big sack. Anyway, this frog's got a big pair of nuts on it, basically. And you can see in that bubble back there, it's got a little knocker. So that's the Duck Roker. Like this one, Oprah Water, has a lot of slash into it. I like the old school spinnerbait style skirt on it. Gotta get that bone. It's hard to beat bone. But this little stuff right here, man, like Gary said, the side wings on here, it really helps keep the transporter and the Duck Roker in place when it's walking, man. Really like That guy right there. That's the duck roker from Tickle. Tickle makes some awesome frogs. They make a honker frog, which is like the Reaction Innovations frog, and then they make a whacker frog, which has got metal on the back. Dude, that transporter slays, Coco. It does. So, see what else I got back here. Again, this is my go-to. Here's some more Tickle frogs. Guys ask. Let's talk about this guy. Who has had luck with the sprinkler frog? I've had some really good blow-ups, not a lot of hookups on it. Just going to be honest with you. What the heck is that? Is that a hollow belly? Yes, Will, it is a hollow belly. It is a hollow belly. But this is, you know, your hybrid buzzbait, a plopping frog. Man, when these things first come out, it was so hard to get one. Matter of fact, when I was doing online sales, I remember getting 400 of these things in and selling out in 5 minutes. It was unreal. People were ordering like 20 at a time, like 3 or 4 of each color. I think there's a time and place for the sprinkler. If there's a good buzzbait bite, but there's a lot of cover, a lot of thick grass, not real thick grass, but the stuff like at Lay Lake, this I just call bank grass, mustard flowers. Great area for the sprinkler frog. Unfortunately, I don't get really good hookups out of this bait. The plopping pad crasher is pretty good and cheaper. But a lot of those sprinkler frogs, man, they were so popular and they don't sell anymore. Now, this is a cool frog right here. I've actually had some really good blow-ups on this in the grass mats. This is the Maracker frog from Tickle. You hear that right there? So a lot of guys that put rattles in their frog, well, this thing, it'll walk pretty decent, but it's really good on the mat. Very similar body to that Reaction Innovations. But man, when this thing's coming over a mat, you hear this. It's exactly what it sounds like. And I remember tying this on. I was with Blake Hall down in Gunnersville, and he was actually smashing them on Bobby's Perfect Frog. I tied this on, and he said, well, that's interesting. He said, I don't know about white. Second cast, a giant blew up on it, and I missed it. And he goes, hey, they make those in black? And I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm going to have to get some of those. And then I missed another one. So, but that's a really cool frog from Tickle. Good idea, Mike. He said the sprinkler fires the fish up, and sometimes it'll go in there with another bait. So that's one thing I would talk about, like with any other topwater bait. It's always the good when you're frog fishing to have like a weightless Cinco. I personally like to keep a fluke on, or now you can use a 6 cents flush. Keep one tied on, because you may, if you're not fishing mats, a lot of times those fish will blow up, and you can fire back in there if you miss it with a fluke or stick bait, and you'll catch that fish. And also, if you're fishing mats and a bass blows up on your frog and you miss it, reel in as fast as you can and throw in exactly where that fish blew up. A lot of times they'll blow up again. I mean, they'll show themselves and they'll get really aggressive. The Care Frog, they make one that has a clacker on it. The one I have doesn't. But here's a really cool little bait from OSP. It's called the Drippy. And so the Drippy frog actually is smaller. We'll get this thing out of the package here. I've been meaning to throw this in a pond. It looks really cool. So the Drippy frog, it comes separate. It actually comes with a screw, which somehow I've lost, of course. But the Drippy frog, you got a little plopper tail with it, and the body, and you've kind of got a screw swivel that goes with it. Somehow I've lost it, of course. And then you rig it up with an EWG style hook. This is a small, like a 3/0. And it's one thing, it's got this little bulb right here, and that protects it from busting through. You just take that little EWG hook, bust it through the body. You are completely weedless, and once you sink that tail on the back of it, oh man, you got like a miniature sprinkler frog. Really cool. Love this color too. Yeah, it's in the package. See, there's a little let's see if you guys can see this here. It's got a little bit, it's got a little screw and a snap there where you put the tail together into the frog, so you're kind of making your own weedless sprinkler frog right there. It's pretty awesome. Really cool bait, man. I actually got that one from the Hookup Tackle. It's kind of a special deal. Got me that little bluegill color. I'm going to throw these around. Hopefully I get some time to really make some videos, fishing videos. But man, I put fishing videos up, I can't get no daggone views. But hopefully some of these Texas videos are coming. The one with me and Casey Sobsack, we bust a 40-pound sack. And when I say we, I did actually have a few fish contribute to that. But dude, I've got so many fish catches on camera from that day. It was truly awesome. Got to make 2 parts, but dude, everybody's talking about the Depths cover scat. That's like a piece of poop as a Ned bait, basically. Will Junkin, hey, just want to say, ever since I won that giveaway from you a while back, been throwing a lot of 6 cent stuff. Got 3 on lipless and chocolate milk water. Dude, that's awesome, Will. That's why I do the giveaways. I want to get cool baits in people's hands, and we're gonna get some more going pretty quick. I just dropped a $600 order from 6 cents, and I may be giving away some stuff. I had to get some of that new swag. I love the 6 cent swag. But anyway, let's see. Methylate floating worm, dude. You're on it, man. I love methylate. What else, frogs? I got. We talked about the Noris. Here's one that's very underrated. This is a Savage Gear popping frog. So Savage Gear is really doing an awesome job lately. Look how big profile. This is a big fat frog. This is a good one though. You see how easy this thing collapses? I really like that Savage Gear popping frog. This color is called Chartreuse Shad, but there really ain't no chartreuse in this thing. I hate to say it. So Savage Gear, you gotta not be so colorblind. But really big profile, moves a lot of water, does this thing. Really, really like that. So not a frog, but are you a believer in any of those other animal top waters? Ducks, mouse, rat, whatever. Live Target used to make a mouse that was really good. A lot of people like that bait. It caught a lot of fish. I actually had one, and somehow I lost it when I moved, but I like the Live Target mouse. But as far as the bats, the ducks, and all that stuff, the spiders, that's all clickbait. That's just shit people buy because it looks cool. Honestly, a regular popping frog or hollow belly is going to do you just as good many of the times. That's just my opinion, Jack. Obviously, I'm not a pro. I'm just a baitman / net man. Dude, I'd love to go to the Hookup Tackle, man. Ben's a really good dude. And you go there, Barry, tell him I said Baitman said hello. What about the Dow Nico Macho Nico? Reminds me of the scat. So I've not thrown that, but god dang, they're $9.99 for a pack of 6. They're really expensive. It's just like a fat, small Nico rig bait. Yeah, dude. Well, make an order. Use my Baitman code. Get you a sticker, man. I would love to get a 6 cents license plate for my truck. So, but very underrated, man. If you get a chance, check out those Savage Gear frogs, man. They're actually making some really good stuff now. That pulse tail bluegill and pulse tail shad from Savage Gear, really good baits. We're up to 170 viewers in here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We've been on an hour and a half just talking freaking frogs. I'm excited about it. What is the wildest and heaviest no oversized frog to put pressure on a thick mat? Also, do you have a progression for your toad brands based on wind? Dang, that's a loaded question, Dustin. The widest and heaviest oversized frog put pressure on a thick mat. Man, since we don't have no daggum grass over here on Kentucky Lake, I like a Bobby's Perfect Frog, but that Spro used to make a big frog called the Spro Jungle Frog. I have one, and it is 8 to pieces. It's over at my dad's house. I just saw it the other day. I meant to grab it. I love that old Spro Jungle Frog. It's a really bigger frog. I like it quite a bit. I would also say, as far as bigger, that the Big Gabo would be good. It's really not a mat frog. So Bobby's Perfect Frog, the old Scum Frog. It looks like a big rat. That's a really good one. I personally am a fan of rats. I like the old man's rat, stuff like that. They're really good. And do I have a progression for my Toad brands based on when? The Top Toad doesn't throw good in wind. Neither does a Horny Toad. The Rivet doesn't throw good in wind. That's why I like that Top Toad. It floats really well. So if there's some ripple on the water, it'll come over it very, very well. I do like the Big Gabo. I really do. I'd like to get a couple new colors in it. Uh-oh. My wife just pulled up. She's been out shopping. I probably don't have any money to buy any baits this week, unfortunately. Now, let's see. What else they got? Oh, yeah. Gonna give Matt. This is a really good one too. This is a bigger frog too. Speaking of Dustin, the Snag-Proof Gunnersville frog is. There you go. It's just Fat Frog is a really good one on mats. So is this one. I know Matt Allen talks about it as a walking frog, and this is the little Allen color, little Matt Allen action. I haven't talked to my tactical buddies lately, dude. This Bullet Wall too, good frog here. Got really big hooks in it, man. It is designed for power fishing and great mat frog. You know, Matt and Tim, they're Delta guys, so they fish the Delta, Clear Lake, where bigger bass are prevalent. And man, those are some really big hooks. This frog walks really good. It's a good mat frog. It's got a good bigger size to it. Really like that. I've been throwing the Bullet Wall for a long time. They made a spitting wall. I'm not a big fan of the spitting wall, but I do like the Bullet Wall too. Matter of fact, I'll need to put this one in the go-to box. I've got to get another frog box. I really need to do popping frogs, walking frogs, and get organized like that. I've got stuff falling out all over the place. We got frogs everywhere. I think Neely's home. She may slide up into the bait room if she ain't asleep. And then I might end this frog talk on this one right here. You don't see these often at all anymore. And this is the Bose Sumo Frog. So this is actually the frog that Dean Rojas called Kermie. And it's real wide, but it's almost built very scum frogish. God dang, it's got good hooks. But you see them hooks drive really straight up. Don't have a lot of curve to them. This is kind of a clear orange color. I actually got a white one, and I traded a buddy for the orange because, you know, go Vols. But anyway, man, love that Bose frog a lot. Walks really good, and it's a good mat frog. Good solid hook in here. Shout out to Mike's Tackle World, only place I knew in America that had some when I went in there. So if you guys haven't picked Mike's Tackle World apart, there might still be some in there. So really like the Sumo Frog, and I'm trying to think of anything else I've missed. I think that's pretty much my frog collection, other than some just random Spro frogs. But let's see, I'll answer some questions for a little bit, and I'm going to get off here and then hang out with the family. Fix my thumbnail. I'm going to edit that thumbnail up a little bit. We got to get some clicks on here. So, while in the water, I can't catch anything on a regular wacky rig worm. Dude, Mike, I'm the same way. I've converted to almost all Nico rigging. Like, for some reason, I feel like the bass like the fall of that Nico rig really well. They're really shallow. I'll go to a wacky rig. Yes, Barry MC, go Vols, Vol till I die, win, lose. hopefully I don't tear apart my TV this fall. I really like what I saw in the orange and white game. It won't be long, dude. Football season to be here, and I'll be in bad moods every Saturday night. Let's see. You really should have scheduled OWA and Debo on here to talk about frog fishing. Yeah, man, I do really like Alex, Oklahoma's worst angler. Really good dude. Debo is excellent, man. I'm going to send Debo a secret care package. So, you guys, do me a favor that you're watching. After this video gets done, come back and name some baits I should send to Debo's Fishing. Okay? I've got a special color reaction innovations bait that I got to send him. So, do me a favor. Let's load a box for Debo's Fishing. After the video airs, leave in the comments what should I put in a care package to Debo's Fishing. Should I put some JDM bait? Should I put some 6 cents baits? Some frogs? If I got it. You know what? If Gary doesn't mind, I might send a few of those baits that Gary sent me to Debo. I think he'd appreciate those. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the info tonight on the frogs. Again, not my strength, but man, I love throwing them. I wish more opportunities came about. One good thing about frogs, it's fun fishing them. Great to take kids, get into fishing, stuff like that. Hey guys, we had almost 200 people on here at one time tonight. I'm getting back every Saturday night. Let's figure out what we're going to make for Debo's Fishing. Leave a comment after the stream comes back up. It's on YouTube available. I'm going to work on the thumbnail. I'm going to put links to my favorite popping frogs, walking frogs, and these hybrid frogs, Tackle Warehouse links, and some rods and my favorite reel in the description. If you decide to purchase, helps me in the channel out. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. Going to hang out with Junior and the wife. And by the way, tomorrow is Mother's Day. And love you, Mom. Thanks for letting me go fishing with Dad when I was little. And, you know, shout out to my wife. She's an awesome mom. She's been hanging out with Neely. She's been doing mom stuff today. And if you don't get a chance any other time of the year, call your mom, text her, and say hello. And if your mom's not here and she's up there, shout out to your mom. You know what I mean? So, anyways, guys, y'all have a great Saturday night. I'll see y'all again next Saturday.